I want to talk about one thing, okay, and that is going to be about Cristiano Ronaldo's press conference, because oh my god, bro, is there some things that I have to talk about, and that is going to be about Cristiano speaking about Lamine Yamal, and then talking about who he thinks should win the Ballon d'Or. Let's start here. Let's talk about a few things that I'm gonna agree that what Ronaldo said. Cristiano said this: Lamine Yamal is doing very well, and he's taking full advantage of his talent. Now let the kid grow, and don't put too much pressure on him. Let him be and let him grow well. Take the pressure off him. He has no shortage of talent. And okay, so first of all, I agree with this. I think that what Ronaldo said here was factos, or like whatever Ronaldo likes to say, because you know, he recognizes that Yamal is a exceptional talent. Yamal has broken multiple records already, becoming the youngest ever scorer at a European championship at the age of 16 years old, helping Barcelona win the domestic treble, going to the semifinals of the Champions League, lifting the 2024 Copa Trophy, which is given to the best young player in the world. And Ronaldo is acknowledging this shows that the football world, especially legends, is paying close attention. I also do like the fact that he's sending a warning about pressure, because look, Ronaldo knows firsthand what it's like to rise quickly and carry the hopes of a nation or his club. He's been under the microscope since he was in his teen years. Like, everybody was like, okay, what is Ronaldo going to do to uplift Sporting CP? What is Ronaldo going to do to uplift Manchester United? His comment about saying, you know, like, let the kid grow is not a dismissal of Yamal's talent. I think that he's trying to warn the fans and the media and even clubs about pushing young players too hard and too fast, because he's like, you know, I've been Yamal before, and I remember all you know, the fans and the media were saying like, do better, like, you can do this, come on, you can do that, and come on, uplift our team, whatever. And to that young player, it's like, oh my god, like, this is so much pressure. Like, how do they expect me to solve so many situations? And this is also backed by science. I was speaking to my professor earlier, and he said that yeah, there's this study that links early career hype. You know, when you have that early career hype, it does lead to higher burnout rates and long-term psychological stress in elite youth athletes. And I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because if you're young and you're given all this hype and all this media pressure and all this pressure on the field, obviously you may not know how to handle that, and that might destroy you mentally. And so it is facts on what Ronaldo is saying. It shows unexpected mentorship, right? On what Ronaldo said. And given Ronaldo's history as a fierce competitor, especially in the classical battles against Messi and Barcelona, it's striking to see him now playing the role of a mentor to me. Like, I'm not going to lie, I still feel like, you know, after so many years of seeing Ronaldo, I expect him to, like, you know, score those 2 to 3 goals every Saturday or whatever. But he kind of, yeah, does that, but now he's starting to see these young players and saying like, I can be these players' mentors. And the fact that I'm seeing Ronaldo trying to mentor somebody like Yamal is good, because honestly, I see similarities between these two players. Yamal likes to speak to the media and say like, we'll see in the final, we'll see who wins in the end, kind of like what he did in the match against France. And so it's kind of fun to see how Ronaldo is kind of like passing on the torch to Yamal in some way. I'm actually kind of surprised to hear that Ronaldo has spoken more about Yamal than Messi, which is kind of crazy, but it is what it is, right? I think that this does add a level of humility and wisdom to his legacy, which is great to see for Ronaldo, rather than trying to like belittle or like overshadow Yamal, because they are going to be meeting in that final. And like, I honestly expected Ronaldo to maybe put down Yamal in some way and say like, oh, Yamal is just a kid and we'll see who's the boss in that final, because they are almost the exact same person in terms of like ego-ness and personality. But he's using his platform to protect him, and that's really good to see, in my opinion. And in the end, it does add fuel to the Spain versus Portugal final. With Spain and Portugal, they're set to clash in the UEFA Nations League final for the first time. It's the first time Ronaldo is going to be facing Yamal, and the first time Yamal is going to be facing Ronaldo. And we'll see who wins in the end. I think that it will be symbolic to see Lamine Yamal take over Spain and move Spain forward and dethrone Portugal in that final. But yeah, it's great. It's awesome. Now turning against Ronaldo, because I honestly gave my flowers to Ronaldo for saying such words to Yamal. And now I want to say some things about what he said about who he believes should win the Ballon d'Or. So this is what he said: for me, whoever wins the Ballon d'Or must be a player who won the Champions League. I believe the award has lost its value. Now, it comes by no surprise to also see Kylian Mbappe, you know, also state, I would give the Ballon d'Or to Dembele. Do I really need to explain myself? If I had to choose between Yamal and Dembele, I would choose Dembele. My vote is very clear. So first of all, bro, Mbappe, I don't know what you're saying. I have no idea. Like, you're not gonna fool anybody. Just because you are a good player doesn't mean that you can persuade such decisions. No, bro. You're only saying Dembele because Yamal took away 3 trophies away from you and he beat you 6 times in 1 season. That is why you're saying Dembele and nothing more. I don't have to go any deeper than that. That's why you're pissed off. That is why you're saying Dembele. To you guys, it's not because Mbappe and Dembele are friends and because they represent the French national team. No, Mbappe is saying Dembele only because Yamal beat him down freaking 4 to 5 times. Okay, that's it. Now going back to Ronaldo, Franck Ribéry responded to Ronaldo's comments and he said, "Oh, so you need to win the Champions League to win the Ballon d'Or, huh?" And I'm gonna give you guys some context. This debate, right, between Ribéry and Ronaldo, it does circle back to the 2013 Ballon d'Or, and it's coming back to the spotlight. And it is very much a controversial decision because that year in 2013, 2013, Ronaldo won the award, but many fans and experts believed at that time that Ribéry deserved it more. And in 2013, Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or award and he did not win the Champions League. So you can see a little bit of a hypocrisy going on here, because with Ronaldo winning the Ballon d'Or in 2013 without winning the Champions League is now saying 10 to 12 years later that you must win the Champions League to win the Ballon d'Or. And that is why Ribéry was like, so you need to win the Champions League to win the Ballon d'Or, huh? And in 2013, like I said, Ribéry had an incredible season with Bayern Munich, winning the Champions League, winning the Bundesliga and the German Cup, and it's a historical treble. Meanwhile, in that exact same year, Ronaldo didn't win any major trophies with Real Madrid at all. So what Ribéry himself, he's basically mocking the situation, and he's basically saying, what's the point of winning the Champions League if it doesn't help you win the Ballon d'Or? You know what I'm saying? So by that logic of what Ronaldo said a couple of hours ago, Ribéry should have won the Ballon d'Or in 2013, but Ronaldo won it. It's insane. And you guys already know my opinion about this. Like, I believe that you do not have to win the Champions League to win the Ballon d'Or. That is why I do say that Lamine Yamal deserves the Ballon d'Or this year. That's just how it is, right? Messi won the Ballon d'Or in 2010, even though he did not win the Champions League, and he won the Ballon d'Or in 2012, even though he did not win the Champions League. It's very much possible, right? It's a mix of what did you win team-wise and what did you win individually? How are you in terms of like the impact? How does your team play with and without you? So we can really see the impact that you do have with your team. It also comes down to professionalism, etc. There's a lot of things that do go on. It's not simply just about who has scored the more goals or who has won the most trophies. It's really not that simple. And so I really do hope that the Ballon d'Or does not make any further mistakes from here, because there has been some famous controversies, like what we just discussed, the 2013 one with Franck Ribéry, and then we had the 2020 with Lewandowski, right? Lewandowski was supposed to win the Ballon d'Or on that year because of his historic goal tally. He won everything, but the award was canceled due to COVID, and they never wanted to repeat this award. They never wanted to talk about it, and they stole another Ballon d'Or away from Lewandowski. And like I've said, the Champions League, yes, I know that it's a very big tournament, and I know that the Champions League is very much a tournament that anybody wants to win, but the Ballon d'Or has a track record of ignoring dominant seasons if the player isn't the media favorite, or if the competition, the Champions League is now won. I really do think that the Champions League format, it does favor moments in football. It favors like, oh my God, because of this and this moment here, that is the reason why he should be a Ballon d'Or contender, right? Like those counterattacking moments, or like a random away goal drama that, players encounter, rather than just trying to look at what happened in the past 48 to 50 matches. A knockout tournament should not outweigh an entire season of league excellence when judging the world's best player at all. Or I'll put it in this way. Individual metrics should be the main yardstick, and team trophies should be the context. It should not be the decision maker. And that is it, right? And I hope that because of this criteria that I have just laid out, it does lead towards Lamine Yamal winning the Ballon d'Or in the end, because he has been the most consistent. He has won a lot of trophies, and in the end, Lamine Yamal does have the advantage over a few players here. And so that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.